about the youngest person that has been in prison. Today's story, I will be giving a warning, which I usually never do, but I need to start doing that in most of the stories, but I just forget to do it. So if you like true crime, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload. So today it does have the talks about rape. So if you really are triggered to that, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and exit the video. Do not subscribe. Do not unsubscribe. Subscribe to the video, to my channel, but do not unsubscribe. But do exit out of the video, and I will see y'all Friday with a new case. On Fridays, I do talk about missing children. Before I talk about this case, I do want to mention that I've gone. It's happened to me twice, and I don't want. And this story is really hard for me to talk about it because just saying the words and knowing what these these victims went through, it does push me through an edge. But I really do want to get these stories out there, so I've tried to block what I've gone through, just so I can tell the stories of these victims and let them know that we have not forgotten, and let them know that the person that did this, he is paying for what he did, and he's gonna pay for it even after he's out of this world. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're gonna be talking about Harvey Miguel Robison. He's one of the American youngest serial killer and Alton, Pennsylvania first serial killer. Robison grew up in a troubled family. His father, Harvey, was an alcoholic, arrested for manslaughter after beating his mistress to death. While in his school, Robison was known for being an athlete student and won awards for his essays, but was also arrested several times for burglary and resisting arrest. A drug addicted, he showed signs of sociopath at a young age, as he had inability to distinguish the difference between right and wrong, distaste any form of authority, and enjoy being feared by others. On the night of August 5th of 1995, Robison broke into the home of 29-year-old Joanna Burbyhead with the intention of burglarizing it, but he stole only $50 from her dresser. 4 days later, her dead body was found laying in the living room floor after one of her neighbors called the police to complain about Berger's stereo being on for 3 days. An autopsy revealed that Burkhead had been raped and beaten to death. Robison was only 17 years old at the time of the murder. A year later, Robison attacked a young girl named Charlotte Schemmeyer when she was delivering papers in the morning. He abducted her, took her to the wood area, and raped and stabbed her to death, slashing her throat. In the process, days later, Robison broke into the home of John and Denise Sam Calley and burglarized, stealing John's gun collection and drinking their whiskey. 3 days later, Robison broke into a home of another woman with the intention of raping and killing her. However, when he saw the woman sleeping with her boyfriend, he decided to kill her daughter instead. Robison raped and strangled a child, but she managed to survive, and it's believed that Robison has stalked the mother for days before him. Sorry guys. Give me 1 second. I need something happened on my phone. Okay, so it's believed that Robison has stalked the mother for several days before ended as he did with the other victims. 8 days later, Robinson returned to the Sam Calley house in the middle of the night with the intention of killing Denise while John was away. He entered the house via an open window. Denise woke up, and this is the same Denise that he intended to kill the daughter. Intention of killing Denise while he entered the house via open window. Denise woke up to the sound of Robinson's footsteps, saw him, and attempted to escape. As she was running through the front yard, Robinson grabbed and pinned her into the ground. When she was bit his arm, Robinson repeatedly punched her, cut her lip open, raped her, and tried to strangle her to death. Her scream alerted a neighbor, which prompted him to flee from the house. When police arrived, they found a butcher knife door a month later, Robison raped and murdered a woman named Jessica Jen Forney. Was beaten she was beaten and stabbed to death, and her body was found laying on the living room with blood splattered all over the wall. 4 days later, Robinson returned to the same Cali home to finish the job with Denise. He attempted to break into her house to kill her but failed, as the back door was equipped with an alarm system. Realizing he would not stop until Denise was finally dead, the police department sent a young police officer named Brian Lewis to stay at the same Cali house in case the killer appeared again. One night, Robinson, now armed with a gun, returned to the house. Lewis heard his attempts at opening the locked doors and then watched as he broke inside through a window, which was left open on purpose. Lewis then identified himself as a police officer and told him to stop. Instead, Robinson began shooting at Lewis, and he fired back, wounding Robinson. He escaped, and a trail of blood was found. Hours later, police were searching the local hospital. They were called to one after Robinson showed up to be treated for cuts and gunshots wound. While trying to escape again, an officer appeared out and pointed a gun at him, and Robinson surrounded with his DNA, eyewitness accounts, and physical evidence against him. Robinson was sentenced to combined 97 years in prison and 3 death sentences. His lawyers were able to get 2 of the 3 death sentences removed, but one still remains. While in prison, Robinson converted to Islam and is currently waiting on death row. He is also suspected of the attempted murder of Lisa Gertler, committed 5 years prior to Berger's murder. During the accident, an intruder removed the screen from the bottom window and entered the house while she was staying over with a friend. The intruder began beating Gertler with a brick, but ran away when her friend started to scream. Both Robinson and Gertler attended elementary school together, and he's suspected of stalking her via telephone in person in the week prior to the attack. Robinson stalks women and murdered them during home invasion when they were alone. He entered their homes through open windows and wore gloves as a forensic countermeasure went inside. Robinson would rape, beat, and kill them, mostly by stabbing or strangulation. Whether his victims survived the attack, he would stalk them for days in order to know what it was the best time to strike again. While Robinson never directly mentioned of referring on the show, he appeared to have been an inspiration of the following sub. So he wasn't on some shows. Y'all could go ahead and look it up. I don't want to mention the shows. But yeah, that's the story of a psycho man who's this sick person. He's a very, very sick person, and I'm glad that he's in death row. How do you do that to him? And the fact that you kept stalking the same girl, because